Our self-esteem, or self-value, depends on the value of the features associated to ourself. If we are rich, tall and healthy and think that these features are positive, our self-esteem will be high. If we are poor, sick and unemployed, and think that these features are negative, our self-esteem will be low. It is often believed that the features' values are absolute and immutable. But history shows that this is not the case. Having a fair complexion was once considered positive, because it was associated to a higher social status. Today, being tanned is positive. This proves that features' values are relative and plastic. Values can be changed by association. If we associate a negative feature with a positive feature, the value of the first feature will increase. Marketing uses this principle with influencers, whose presence increases a product's reputation. We want to apply this method to our negative features, which cause our low self-esteem. This series of videos highlights some common negative features, proposing for each of them a list of people who share the feature. Knowing that we are not alone may help to render them less negative and more tolerable. Enjoy! Giovanni Falcone, 1939–1992, was an Italian magistrate who, together with colleague and friend Paolo Borsellino, is considered one of the most important and prestigious personalities in the fight against mafia in Italy and internationally. He died in a bomb attack in May 1992, together with his wife Francesca Morvillo and 3 policemen. During an interview, Falcone said, "The important thing is not to establish whether one is afraid or not. It is knowing how to live with one's fear and not being influenced by it. This is courage, otherwise it is no longer courage but recklessness." Daniele Ganser, born 1972, is a Swiss historian and journalist. He became known for his dissertation, NATO's Secret Armies in Europe, published in 2005. Since then, Ganser has published extensively on military actions carried out by NATO member states, which he describes as violating international law, as well as on the global market of raw materials and its geopolitical consequences. As he confessed in one of his videos, he lost his job at ETH Zurich due to his unconventional theories. He had just had a child, and being unemployed put him in a condition of stress and fear for the future. Jesus of Nazareth was a first-century Jewish preacher and religious leader. He is the central figure of Christianity. Most Christians believe he is the incarnation of God, the Son, and the awaited Messiah, Christ, prophesied in the Old Testament. While on the cross, at the 9th hour, Jesus cried out with a loud voice, "Eloi Eloi lama sabachthani?" which means, my God, why hast thou forsaken me?" Some theologians understand the cry as that of one who was truly human and who felt forsaken. Put to death by his foes, very largely deserted by his friends, he may have felt also deserted by God and was scared by impending death. Spitz is Buck's main antagonist during the first 3 chapters of Jack London's famous novel, The Call of the Wild. He is the leader of the pack of sled dogs and Buck's arch-rival. After watching Curly killed by a pack of huskies, Spitz laughs at her fate. Buck cannot forgive the fact that he laughed at his friend's death, and, from that moment on, Spitz becomes the object of Buck's hate. During the final fight, Buck is severely wounded and bleeding from many wounds all over his body, while Spitz is untouched. The fight gets desperate, but eventually Buck breaks Spitz's 2 forelegs, leaving him helpless, snarling and bristling, as though to frighten off impending death. Then Buck sprang in and out, but while he was in, shoulder had at last squarely met shoulder. The dark circle became a dot on the moon-flooded snow as Spitz disappeared from view. Buck stood and looked on, the successful champion, the dominant primordial beast who had made his kill and found it good.